Can you hear me? Hmm. This is some bad weed. No, I can't say this is bad weed. It just ain't the best. This is not at all. I'm going to have to talk to my weed guy about this here. Hold up. I was hoping I could kick it in the garage, but the coverage in that motherfucker is terrible. I just got a pop up saying I just got a sale from Europe. I just put up the Black American Music Family Tree. It is up for sale. It is up for sale now on incenseandashtrays.com. It is up for sale at incenseandashtrays.com. Hold on. Turn the light on. Turn the light off. Hold on, y'all. Close this so my weed smoke will come in. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I am back. Yeah, I got the Incense and Ashtrays Music, Black American Music Family Tree. It is up for sale now on incenseandashtrays.com/shop. Oh, this has been a painstaking process getting this tree ready. What's up, Star? I just saw you bought one. Star, you're the play this. Star, you're the second person to buy the T-shirt. The first after I posted it, like randomly, like I had been working on that site most like crazy. I could not get the free shipping down for nothing. Like I would, these websites be crazy. I'm trying to do free shipping over $75, and the motherfucker didn't want to. It kept charging people the shipping rate. So when I finally fixed it, 5 minutes later, I got a sale. And then when I posted it for sale, I was like, oh shit, Star got a shirt. And I can't wait till you take a picture of that shirt, Star, and send it. That's some of my most proudest work right there, that Black American Music Family Tree. What's up, G Mars? Good seeing you in here, brother. Like, y'all don't know how proud I am of that Black American Family Tree, man. That's something that I'm telling y'all right now, people. When the inspiration hits you, you just gotta go with it, man. You can't procrastinate. You cannot procrastinate when the inspiration hits you. You just gotta go with it. And one of my biggest issues in life has been like sometimes I get an idea and I procrastinate and let it go by. Then you know what I mean? Because I'm always on to something different. I don't stay on one thing for long. I move on to the next. Man, that bus sound like it got a fucked up transmission. God damn. Anyway, man, like around like January, I was doing the incense and ashtrays. Like Star, you were in there. Quan was in there. Uh, Evan was in there. Salute to Evan. Y'all were all in the incense and ashtrays, and we were talking about music. And I think I was talking about like how like I think I was talking about like a Luther Vandross song, and like how it came from something else, whatever that was. During the middle of that episode of Incense and Ashtrays, was like, you know what? I think I need to put together a tree just to make this shit simple, to simplify it. So like that next morning was like a Saturday morning, and I woke up and I spent all day working on the tree, and like 80% of my music tree was done in the first day because most of the tree was off memory. Like I've been following music for so long, most of what's on that tree it was just off the top of my head. And I just dumped on top everything off the top of my head, going back to syncopated dance music and sacred music of the 1700s. Everything through hip hop was like 80% of that tree is off the top of my head. And then from there, I went ahead and pulled out some old books that I haven't read in a long time. I bought a bunch of new books. I bought some out of print books, and I watched a bunch of documentaries. And I did that part to make sure that I was accurate. I didn't want to be wrong. You know what I mean? I don't want to lie and say we did something we didn't do. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be wrong about it. So I bought all those books, and I spent like just months just reading the books and making sure I'm right, adding shit that wasn't in there that I didn't think of. And then I hit up Joe Fox. Y'all know Joe. Joe saw the tree. I said, Joe, we have to make this tree talk. Because the way I had it originally, it was just a regular stock image or something. And I thought Joe was going to do one thing with the tree. And then he flipped it and came with that design of a woman, of the black woman. Because y'all know I honors the black woman the same way I honor the black child and the black man. We are all one. Black man, woman, child. That's the Trinity. Black man, woman, and child. The black man is the as black men, we're the creators of the black. We create. When it comes to our work, that's what we master. We master in. When it comes to art, the creation of the arts and music. But we come from women. So that tree honors the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the children. And then Joe Fox came with that design. He dropped that design on me like because I gave him everything I needed in February, and he just took a couple months. And he dropped that design on me like in April. I was like, oh shit, this is nice, man. And so from there, we spent like once a week just going through it, taking branches off, putting branches on, weaving in words within the stock of the tree. Like a lot of those are my ideas to weave the words, the stuff that music that was going on in the 17 and 1800s, weave those within the stock of the tree. And the music in the 1600s, put those down at the roots. And then just show it grow, man. And man, so man, I'm just happy. I'm just happy this shit's finally out. Because it's like, you know what? And the quality of the t-shirts, y'all, Star, let me know how the quality, please, Star, let me know the quality of the t-shirt when you get it. Because I upgraded my t-shirts. And I'm going to go back for all my Hotepish t-shirts and all the other t-shirts. I'm going to go back and use these t-shirts that I'm using for, because you know how it is, you know, as things grow, I like good quality, you know. I like if y'all going to spend some money with me, I want y'all to be satisfied. Like, you know what? I like what I got. I don't ever want to sell y'all something and y'all be like, ugh, I don't ever want that. Yeah. And I'm going to do more. I'm going to put that image on a coffee mug. I'm going to do coffee mugs. I might do backpacks with that too. I'm going to put it on a few things. I can put it on the flag if you want me to, but I want y'all to, you know, let me know about the quality, man. I want y'all to like that shit. You know, my other t-shirts I have, those are good quality too. But the quality of these t-shirts are better. And you gotta always get better. Black people started country music, Anthony Manzano. This is what you gotta realize. When you listen to what's known as country western, what the white people call country western, That was nothing but their rendition of black people's blues, rock. It's a book called Blue Monday by about the great Fats Domino. Fats Domino grew up play the style of music he played was later renamed New Orleans blues piano, but that sound was originally called country western, and that meant that Delta blues sound. That Delta blues sound, which is a little bit different than New Orleans piano blues. That because the Delta is the country. They called that country music. That was country music. Delta blues was country. The blues was country music. Country, country, country. Because black folks wasn't living in the cities back then. They lived out in the country. So that's why it was called country music. White people lived in the cities. You know what I mean? Black people didn't start moving to the cities until later. But so what happened was that Memphis, that country sound, then white boys heard it, took it on up to Nashville, and they said, you know what? This is country music. We gonna rename your shit. Yeah, Ray Charles got some country jams. All that's black music. All of it's black music. All of it. All of it. All of it. Country Western was ours. They did the same thing with country that they did. As a matter of fact, Dr. Randy Short just turned me on to a book. I just got this book in the mail yesterday or 2 days ago, and it's talking about, it's going into detail about that this particular question you just asked, country western. So I know that, and I know a few stories generally, but I just found a new book. Well, no, it's an old book. It's actually an out of print book. I just found a book that details what country is, like that details how that happened and who did it. So I'm gonna read this motherfucker and I'm gonna talk about it. Oh yeah, but post that Bobby Rush interview. Yeah, I appreciate that. What's up, Don Smith? What's up, Andrew? Yeah, man. Country's our shit. Just like metal's our shit. Metal, heavy metal, that's our shit. You gotta thank Jimi Hendrix, by extension, Muddy Waters for that. Do y'all know the wah wah pedal that guitar players use? That was created as a response so white people, white musicians can play to sound like Muddy Waters. Muddy can get that wah wah sound without using the pedal, just through his technique on the guitar. And Bobby, the interview started just posted with Mr. Bobby Rush. Bobby Rush broke that down because he was actually there when it happened. They couldn't get the wah wah down, so they created a pedal to get a sound that the black men were getting naturally just through technique and skill. What's up, Mark? What's up, Positive Influence? But yeah, we don't really know how. Do you guys know that the saxophone before Coleman Hawkins and before Lester Young, the saxophone was a background instrument. The saxophone was never, never, never a featured instrument. The trumpet, the brasses were the featured instruments. Trumpets, trombone, a woodwind like the saxophone. They didn't feature the saxophone. The saxophone was always played in the background. It was a complementary sound until Coleman Hawkins. Coleman Hawkins first, and right around the same time, Lester Young. Lester Young played the saxophone for Count Basie. He and Billie Holiday were close friends, and then they fell out of favor for a while, and then they met back up and did a TV show together 2 months before Miss Billie Holiday died. But look up Lester Young. Lester Young was Marvin Gaye before Marvin Gaye, man. He was cool as hell. Lester Young used to play his saxophone to the side, and Lester Young became a saxophone player because he was originally a drummer, but he said that the drums would take too long to pack up, and by the time he was done packing his drums, all the ladies left the nightclub. So on a whim, he just picked up the saxophone and started playing that, the tenor sax. And the tenor sax wasn't considered a lead instrument. Lester Young turned it into a lead instrument. So when you see all these white boys, especially in the '80s, going around with they shags, playing those 4-bar piano solo, saxophone solos, like y'all remember back in the '80s. It seemed like back in the '80s, you couldn't get a motherfucking song without a saxophone solo. Every got like what they call now when the person gets 16 on the rap version of the song. The rap 16 replaced what was back in the '80s, the saxophone solo. But all that came possible because of what Lester Young was doing in the 1930s, flipping the sound of the saxophone. Now we take for granted the saxophone is a lead instrument, but that wouldn't have happened without us. So it's like we have a history. It's like either we invented the instrument, or if we didn't invent it, we were the standard on how that instrument was played moving forward. It's always one of the two or both. We either invented the instrument, or you can point back to a black person that created the standard as to how that instrument was played. Like on the drums, JoJo White, drummer for Count Basie, he turned the drum he turned the drums into a melodic instrument. Before JoJo would Count Basie, the drums just purely kept time. Keep time, keep time, keep time, keep time. Basie's drummer is the person that brought color and melody to the drums. Not overpowering because he never took a solo. That was another thing about him. As Basie's drummer, he didn't take solos. But he played in a melodic way using the toms, using the cymbals that brought color into the music. So yes, the first official drum set that was created was the Ludwig, but that's because the white boy did what white boys always do, saw what a nigga was doing, and then went down to the patent office and patented it and created a company. That's all Ludwig did. Ludwig was going to those black juke joints and seeing them niggas play the drums, and then Ludwig went and created his own drum set. So that's why you see Ludwig as the first official drum set. But that's not the truth. They just saw what niggas was doing. The thumping on the bass, that's Larry Graham, Drake's uncle. Because Larry Graham comes from a very musical family. His mother was a musician, and he played in the band with his mother, and they used to play throughout San Francisco and Oakland during the 60s. And the drummer wouldn't show up. The drummer wouldn't show up, and so Larry Graham had to start to pluck the bass on the 2 and the 4 to keep the time. You know, when it comes to guitar, every white boy, they're either playing Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Howlin' Wolf for the older generations. Then from when you get to the 70s, 60s, they all like Eric Clapton, they all trying to sound like Johnny Guitar Watson. They're trying to sound like Catfish Collins. They're trying to sound like Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Hazel, Ernie Isley. That's who everybody's trying to sound like. When it comes to singing, the standards of Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey. Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey are your standards when it comes to singing. And then after Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey, you get Aretha Franklin and Shaka Khan. Once Aretha and Shaka came, every woman was trying to sound like either one of them two. We got to give Shaka her credit, man. We don't. I think I'm gonna do an Instance and Ashtrays pretty soon, just about Shaka Khan. We do not give that woman her flowers while she's living. She named herself Shaka Khan based on it was like a tribal name that she gave us because of what was going on in the civil rights movement. And Shaka wanted to fight white supremacy, so she gave herself a warrior name. and she created a whole school of music. When Shaka Khan came in with that powerful voice of hers, every woman after that, whether you're talking about Stephanie Mills, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, all of them got Shaka Khan in them. We got a goddess walking around this planet, and we don't even tell her that. We need to thank Shaka Khan every day for what she gave us musically. Niggas don't even niggas. And I remember when Shaka Khan sang the national anthem. Remember niggas getting mad at her like she didn't sing it right. I'm like, hold on, you dumb niggas. What, we just protested the national anthem? Shaka did Shaka on that national anthem. And that's fine with me. Shaka, when she had her verses, she was drunk. That's fine with me too. Shaka, you can drink, do what the fuck you want to do, Shaka. You created something, and you created a ripple effect in music that is undeniable. Like, man, we got so many gods and goddesses out here. But look at how we do them. Look at how we do them. Music is corny right now because hell, what's on mainstream is corny. The reason why it's corny because we didn't appreciate the good shit. We didn't appreciate that, man. You got niggas going around right now trying to compare R. Kelly to fucking Stevie Wonder or Marvin Gaye. I'm like, are you niggas sick? Are you fucking sick? Why don't you ever like R. Kelly's great within himself, and he's a guy too, because he's a lyrical genius. But it's I seen these young motherfuckers try to rank. First of all, why are you ranking? Every generation has its own thing. You shouldn't rank. But why would you ever disrespect Marvin Gaye or Stevie Wonder like that? Like, do niggas realize Marvin Gaye started getting hits in the early '60s, and he literally died with a Grammy in his hand? Marvin Gaye died, won a Grammy, then died just a little bit after that. That motherfucker ended on top. What's up, Legion of Nicks? Stevie Wonder literally had his first hit like in 1962. He was one of the early. Stevie Wonder literally had one of Motown's first hits. Stevie Wonder was a bona fide over million selling star before Michael Jackson even got to Motown. These motherfuckers are crazy. Yeah, they're trying to rank Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. Why would you do that shit? They different. Way different. The only thing they got in common is they dance well. Everything else is different. Michael Jackson don't even like Michael Jackson. And I saw somebody said Michael Jackson, Chris Brown's a better singer. And that's where we just like, okay, I understand. I respect everybody's preferences. I never begrudge anyone their preference. But why would you ever in a million years say Chris Brown is a better singer than Michael Jackson? Chris Brown's albums are auto-tune. You can't compare somebody who auto-tunes their notes with someone who actually hit their notes. That's where I draw the line. Say what you want, but you're going to compare someone who auto-tunes their notes with someone who had to actually sing their notes? Listen to "Wanna Be Starting Something" by Michael Jackson. Listen to that vocally. He's going from tenor to high soprano. I sent my baby to the doctor. He's going up and down. This motherfucker's literally going from high soprano to alto to when he's singing the bridge to tenor, and then just going up and down the vocal scale. and hitting every single note in the run. Listen to him on Lady of My Life sing. If Michael Jackson couldn't dance, if you take Michael Jackson's dancing ability away, he can't moonwalk, he can't he can't pop lock, he can't do the electric slide, whatever. Take all that away. You still have a great singer. That's the thing about Mike. You take all of his dancing away, you take all of the antics away, and the motherfucker vocally will still kick your ass. Because he has range and power and layers and presence. See, when it comes to vocals, the notes are one thing. The major thing when it comes to vocals is presence. Can you sell the song? Can you the feeling? What do you emote? And Michael could not only sing it note for note, he could his biggest thing is he emoted. That's why everybody felt Michael. That wasn't a coincidence. You didn't feel Michael just because he could dance. You didn't feel Michael just because of his personality. The thing, listen to She's Out of My Life. Michael Jackson emoted. He can conjure up his full feelings and transmit that feeling through the music. That's why when he comes on, if you play Michael Jackson today, you have 8-year-olds. You have 8-year-olds right now. When Michael Jackson come on, nigga, they gonna stop what they doing and dance. I saw my little 8-year-old niece trying to sing Beat It. I'm like, man, you weren't even born when Michael Jackson died. But they feeling Michael Jackson more than they feeling this K-pop shit. Like, look at a kid. Kids feel Michael Jackson more than the music of their generation. You know why? Because he emotes with a feeling. And that's what music is. And I don't even judge music by hits. Man, hits don't mean shit. You know how many horrible songs are hits? Bodak Yellow was a hit. That's not a good song. Usher had a lot of hits. I can't name one good song Usher ever created. He had hits though. He had hits. And somebody who make you change your ways like hanging with your crew. Man, get that corny shit out of here. You got it bad. Ba-da-na, boo-na-na-na, fee, fine, fo-na-na. You got it bad when you're all alone. Man, get that corny monkey shit out of here. Usher look like the MailChimp logo. I ain't know. And that shit was horrible, but it was a hit. That shit was horrible. And anybody with a limited capacity to say, talk about hating, this conversation is probably going to be over your head. Hating is just hating something. When a person has logic and reason to back what they say, that's called an opinion based on a perception, it's called an educated opinion. An opinion with evidence to support the opinion. You don't have to agree with the opinion, but listen to the quality of the music. If you want to understand how not good of a singer Usher was, go back to that last Michael Jackson concert. There was a part where Usher came out and sang with Luther Vandross. And Usher tried to challenge Luther Vandross in a sing-off. Y'all remember that? Go back and look. It was like a special when Michael Jackson released Invincible, where he got back with his brothers and he performed. But earlier in the show, Usher and Luther kind of was on stage together singing. And this motherfucker Luther was a couple years from dying. When he came out and sang and Usher tried to hit some notes, this motherfucker Luther ran 400 miles an hour past that motherfucker backwards. He hit him with the. So, man, nah. Hits don't mean shit. The quality of music. Matter of fact, a lot of your biggest music that's around now wasn't a hit when it came out. The high they or it wasn't the biggest hit. Like it's a lot of like music that's around. A lot of the music that's around right now wasn't the biggest hit when it dropped. Like I was at I was at Eddie V's about a month ago. Eddie V's is it's like one of those nice steakhouses here in LA. Really nice steakhouse, high quality food. Prices are okay. You know what I mean, like one of those $80 a la carte steak places. And the whole time, these motherfuckers is playing D'Angelo, they playing Erica Badu, they playing Jill Scott. None of those songs went #1 when they came out. Not one. But that's what people are playing now because that was when it comes to 20 years ago. That sound, that Soul Aquarius sound, that music soul child, that Jill Scott, that Erica Badu, that Lori, that sound was a high quality sound. It wasn't a big hit. Wasn't the biggest hits. But 20 years later, that's the music that gets played. Not Ashanti, not Ashanti. Ain't nobody trying to hear no. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody trying to. I sing that better than Ashanti. I didn't hear one note, and I still saying that shit better than her right now, just now. Shit. Nobody trying to hear that shit. But it was a hit back then. It wasn't it? It was a hit back then. This nigga said my side chick birthday coming out. Coming up. Eddie V's is one of Redondo Beach is one in Orange County. Go to it. They play jazz. They be playing jazz and shit. Now if you take your girl, your bill gonna be about 260 if you do it right. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Some good ass food at Eddie V's. Take your girl, the bill gonna be about 250, 280. But some good shit. Yeah, you're right, Quan. That was whisper music, and that was done on purpose. Nigga said we'll eat sides. That's a good way to go there. But not Quan, you're right. Um, that's I'm glad you brought that up, Quan. See, I fuck with y'all in the chat room. Y'all be leading me down tangents, and then when I go on a tangent, I don't look at the chat room because y'all gonna say something else that's good, and it's gonna distract me from the thought that I'm on. But Quan brought up the whisper. Let's talk about the whisper era. The whisper era was something that was created. That's nothing that black people, that the people out there asked for. Nobody asked for singers to stop singing loud and powerful. What happened was the 80s was the decade of power singing. Oh, and go bookmark instanceandashtrays.com now, y'all. That's now a full-on music media blog. Full on. I'm about to put up some blogs and music reviews, current music and old music, and I'm going to tell stories like this on the website. So bookmark it now, and then so a lot of the stuff that I be telling y'all, I'm gonna go on. I'm be putting them up on the website. So when you're online and you're on Twitter, and one of them motherfuckers is talking shit about black music, y'all can go to instanceandashtrays.com and pull up a link to some shit that I wrote and tell them motherfuckers to shut up. But back to what I was saying about the whisper singing era. Back to what I was saying about that. The whisper singing era The 80s was the era of power singing. When they took our music from us, when they took our music from us in the 70s, the transition from the 70s to the 80s, they took out the live instrumentation. That's why if you listen to music in 1979, everything is live. By the time you get to 1983, half of it's live. By the time you get to 97, 87, almost none of it's live, or it is live, or it may have a live drum, but everything is synthetic. You may have some live instruments backing the synthetic sound in the late 80s, but by the time you get to the early 90s, 91, now you get to the point to where there's no live instrumentation backing the sound. They did it slowly. It went from live instrumentation completely to some synthetic sound on top of live instrumentation in the early 80s to the late 80s, mostly synthetic sound with some live instrumentation supporting it, to the early 90s, absolutely no live instrumentation other than Mint Condition and Tony, Tony, Tony. Those, and then we would have the Roots come out a couple years after that. Those are the only people in the 90s who using live instrumentation in the early 90s. The Roots, Mint Condition, and Tony, Tony, Tony. Tony, Tony, Tony still had a blend with a lot of electronic sounds. Their only real album with just complete live instrumentation was House of Music. Came out in 1998. Dope album. Go get that album by Tony, Tony, Tony. I think that was their best album. Well, so what they did was to not make it so noticeable that the sound was changing. They taken the live instrumentation away slowly, but they're giving us power singers. The 80s is power singers. Freddie Jackson, Luther Vandross, um, um, Stephanie Mills, Vesta. This when the power singers started coming in. Whitney Houston, all of them. Howard Hewitt. You have and Gerald Levert, Eddie Levert. The, you in the 80s you had to bring it. Like you had to bring it if you was gonna be singing in the 80s. Shirley Murdoch, nigga. Come on now, Shirley Murdoch. I would never want to hurt her. She never understand. Nigga, Michelet, you had to bring it in the 80s. But what happened was, as they started to buy record labels, independent black labels, and started to like take away our sound, those power singers, they started losing their contracts. They wouldn't renew their contracts, and that led um, to the things like the suicide of Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman died not feeling wanted. That era spit out so much talent. It just stopped. Alicia Alicia Myers. I mean, we can go down the list. I could talk. We could talk for days about the power singers of the '80s. No one ever wanted that to stop. The record industry is now seeing that hip hop. They're seeing the way hip hop puts music together. Hip hop has a much cheaper method of putting music together. So what happened musically, you know, they're no longer hiring Paul Reiser to orchestrate music like that. Or if they are hiring Paul Reiser, he's working for a white act. All of your black arrangers, and they either didn't get their contracts renewed, or if they did get renewed, because what made '70s music so great was the arrangements. People today, if you ask 10 people who so-called are music fans what an arranger does, 9 out of 10 are going to get not going to know, and that's a shame. 9 out of 10 people will not know what an arranger does in music. And when it comes down to it, the arranger is one of the most important people in the song. So, what's up? What's up, Butter Love? So, the arrangers basically got siphoned off. or they would basically arrange music only for white acts. They wouldn't put that kind of orchestration in black music because they saw in hip hop, you didn't need all that. In hip hop, all you needed was a loop and maybe pay for some sample clearance. But all you needed was a 4-bar loop. So they started to slowly introduce that into R&B. They got rid of the bridge. They would get rid of a first and a second part. They cut out the intros. They stopped the endings and just kind of fade the song out instead of having an ending. Those elements that make music, they slowly started to take away. So when you get to so you have Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey was the last new power singer. She was the last new power singer. And Vision of Love came out, was that 1989, I think that was? She was the last new one. So you get that, and then in the early 90s, you get a lady named Mary J. Blige. Well, before that, you got Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's biggest stigma in the 80s was she couldn't sing. Remember that was remember that was the biggest thing they would say about Janet Jackson. Oh, Janet Jackson can't sing because Janet Jackson was the lone non-power singer of the 80s. She had a groove, she had a feel, but she had nothing on Stephanie Mills vocally. But Janet didn't whisper, she still sang. She just didn't sing with power. So then you get Mary J. Blige. See, now when Mary J. Blige comes, that's when it starts to change. Because Mary J. Blige, when Sweet Thing came out, she couldn't sing. Now she sounded good on the album because of studio work, because the recording engineer was great. But for those of you who remember, I'm sure you remember this, Brother Love Quan, like the 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 Soul Train Awards in 1993. Who remembers that? It was 92 or 93. It's the Soul Train Awards, and Mary J. Blige, what's up, man? Mary J. Blige sang live, and we heard Mary sing. She, man, I remember we went to school the next day. Like, y'all see Mary J. Blige on the Soul Train Awards? God damn, she can't sing. And I remember that shit. It was like, hold up, man. And she could not sing. Now, I will say, by the time Mary gets to the late 90s, when she gets to that album, Mary, I will give Mary J. Blige credit. She improved vocally throughout her career. And when she got, I think her best album was the album Mary. It was very musical, and she rode that musical wave. She had gotten away from that. See, when she came out with that, when she came out with that let them know, okay, in R&B, we don't necessarily have to pay for all these elaborate arrangements. We could just come up with a dope ass vamp and vamp out. You ain't got to pay no arrangers. You know what I mean? You ain't got to pay no live musicians. All you got to do is pay the motherfucker that came up with this on the keyboard. So Real Love, when Real Love came out, and when Real Love hit real hard, that let them know, okay, because New Jack Swing was already going. But when Real Love hit, Real Love let the music industry know that, oh, we can now get the women, the lady singers, on this beat over here. So it became a lot cheaper for the record industry. When Real Love hit, the minute Black America bought Real Love as a legitimate song, that was it. And I'm not saying it was still a good song. It was a great song. But the minute we flocked to that let them know that they no longer have to give us the elements of music. And what are the elements? Earth, that's your drums. Wind, that's your horns. And your water, that's your piano and your keyboards. Fire, that's your guitar and your horns. Thunder and lightning, that's your drum set. You need these live emotions in music in order to transmit the feeling that music is supposed to transmit. You need that. It's essential. But they took it out. And then when they took it out and they told her, they saw that they can go with the vamp, they took it a step further. They said, okay, we don't have to put together a full song anymore, any more full arrangements. We no longer have to deal with these divas, Patti LaBelle and Angela Bofield and these women that got power voices. We don't have to deal with them. Yeah, we got Tony Braxton over there still singing real powerful, but the music, the songs themselves she was singing were great, but the quality of the ingredients of the instrumentation wasn't. And when I say that, I'm meaning if I want to go back and listen to some Tony Braxton, if we give her a completely live sound, it's the reason why Tony Braxton's music, like a song like "I Get So Hot," that still plays. But the first album, Tony, I thought that was the better album. That one had a more synthetic sound. It should have been with me. It sounds like early '90s. You date your music when you come with that synthetic sound. You put a stamp on your music. But Tony was still singing. SWV was singing. It was slowly happening. Mariah Carey still singing. And then when you get to '95, when Mariah hits you with that song she did with ODB, um, we hear her singing. And then why is Mariah whispering now? Mariah, you can sing your ass off. Why are you whispering? And then Aaliyah hit '93, and when Aaliyah hit, Aaliyah brought in some of that more of that whispering, and then it became a thing between '93. See, in '93 is the intro to whispering. '97, everybody's whispering. It happened that fast. Thank God for Erykah Badu for bringing in that neo soul sound. Because if she didn't do that, music would have been done. If Jill Scott, if the Roots, if Maxwell, if they don't come around, Tony with House of Music, Mint Condition, if they aren't around, music is done, y'all. Like R&B would have been done had that neo soul movement not come around, because that's what the industry wanted. So here's how I know this was. Y'all remember that group back in the day, back in the '90s? They were called JS. It's three sisters. Well, no, it ended up being in the group. It ended up being two. It's really three, but in the group it was two sisters, and they had a song called Ice Cream. When that song dropped, I heard those girls whispering, and I was like, why would you have them whispering? Johnson sisters. No, not Ron Isley's daughter, Ron Isley's wife. I grew up in church with them. I don't know them like that. Me and their brother are cool. I ain't seen him in a while. Me and they dad are cool. Like, man, they dad love them. They dad loved me on the drums. He was one of my biggest supporters when I was a teenager on the drums. They dad loved me on the drums. But they went to our church, like with my church I grew up in. We had an association of like 5 different churches around LA. And they grew up in the church I was in when I was young, but then they moved off to the other version of that same church. But we would still have, like, oh, you know how it is when you're in church, you get youth departments and shit. We still have all kind of events with them, and I play music with them. Like I was in the music department, so whenever I would go out to their church, and then their father ended up opening a church, a version of our church. So I'll play the drums with their father. But when I tell you Them girls, cause them women, I'm not girls, they were girls back then. Them women to sing their asses off. I mean, like when we was kids, when we be at youth, like at youth camp, every year at youth camp, we get the Johnson sisters to sing. Them, man, shit, they sing their ass off. And then one sister married Ron Isley, and the other sister married Philip Bailey from Earth and Fire. And that those both of those marriages happened in the same year. And they was like in their 20s when that happened. And Ronald Isley was like in his 60s. And Philip Bailey was like in his 50s. The one that married Philip Bailey, she since got divorced. But the other one that married Ronald Isley, she's still with him. But them women could, I mean, the Johnson sisters, I mean, when their three-part harmony was as tight as the emotions. And y'all know me and because of music, the emotions are my favorite. That's my favorite three-part harmony ever, the emotions. Their three-part harmony was as tight as the Jones Girls. And if you know the emotions in the Jones Girls, that music three-part harmony don't get any tighter. The Johnson sisters, JS, they had that. They were emotions, Jones Girls, Supremes level three-part harmony. Better than the Supremes because all of them sang better than Diana Ross. All of them. But when they had their shot, when they got their shot to get put on the radio, the music industry had them women whispering. Don't tell me that shit wasn't intentional. It was like, because this is how they would do it. When you recording music, they would you sometimes you'd have 100 different takes of the same 4 bars, same song, and they could have sang it those songs with power on 20 of those takes, and then one take they whispered. Guess who the record? Guess what? Which one of the record labels going to choose? Because at the end of the day, we have a contract. The record label has final say on what songs go on the album. And what was going on in the '90s, it still goes on now. You could record a song with power, and then the record industry, the executives, the people in the suits, they'll come along and be like, I don't think the people are going to get that. So re-record it and maybe have them whisper. Try that. Like that girl, what's her name? Aaliyah? Yeah, Aaliyah had a hit last year. All Aaliyah did was whisper. So, yeah, try that. And then you try it, and then that be the take that they pick to go on the track, on the album. And that's how the shit worked. That is how it works. I just gave y'all basically a functional reality of how the music works. Them are the same thing with the live instrument with the production quality. Shit, back in the day, they'd have a certain production quality in the song. It was taken a certain way, and then out of nowhere, it's a producer, or not producer, it's someone, it's a record executive, somebody with a suit, and they'll be like, "Nah, we don't want that. That's too much." Basically, dumb it down. I heard some noise come behind me. Shit, I got my pistol on me. I got my phone in the right hand. Nigga. So yeah. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. I got to get my lighter so I can light my weed. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Who's this white boy? I don't like his hat. I don't like his hat. My wife watching some bullshit. I know she was watching some bullshit with some white boy with a silly ass hat on. Like, so yeah, what were we talking about, y'all? Uh, Bismarck T buys midgets. Like Bismarck T goes around. This motherfucker goes to midget villages looking for hookers. Then he come up in my chat room in the Craig Facts chat room talking shit. But nigga, you was just trying to holler at some midget hookers, bruh. Oh shit! Well, hold on, I'll be right back. I got the wrong weed container. Hold on, I'll be right back. Gotta get my weed. Left something else. This shit. That white boy about to die. Hello? Yeah. Man, I got the wrong goddamn weed container. I'm over here thinking I'm getting ready to smoke some weed. It ain't shit in here. Let me get my shit. What was we talking about? We be having fun at Craig Facts. You said a show coming up with a Key Sweat on Friday. This is funny. Like being in my 40s, like I'm like all the way in my 40s now. I turned 41 on Friday. I'm like, and it's crazy because like at 41, you're not old, but you're in there. Like you, let me see, where's my weed at? Is this the one? Where the weed at? Hold on. What am I know I wrote this weed. There we go. There we go. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yep, here it is. Weed, got my weed. One on Friday. And damn, but it's like when you turn that age, you see shit a few times. It's like now at 40, I got 41. It's like, damn, you see the patterns now. And that's what I do to help, like when I do my readings. Oh, he turned 42. Yes, up, Don Smith. Oh, and hey, Biz Marti, shut the fuck up, man. And I want to say salute to everybody that got a reading from me so far. Man, that shit been fun with y'all. I thank y'all for hitting me back because I told you I deliberated long and hard to figure to if I was gonna tell you Craig Facts motherfuckers and the people that follow my show here on YouTube. It took me. It was months of deliberation for me to announce or talk about me reading cards. And this is my overall my company anyway, working with kids. I usually keep that shit separate from the internet. The motherfucking clients I got at Breakthrough, 90% of my Breakthrough clients have no clue I do anything on YouTube. Not a thing. I'm like over here, DwannBrown reads cards. DwannBrown works with kids, and DwannBrown does that stuff offline. Dwan B's on YouTube talking shit, and it's for like forever. It's been a separation of the two worlds, and like so, I just decided recently to bring the two worlds together, and y'all responded. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate that, Joseph. Yeah, yeah. Or you can just go right. I still have my sale through Saturday. I've been booked up, so I have like one slot open tomorrow, and I have three slots open Saturday, and that's it for my half off sale. $85 for a reading. That's my half off sale. I must really love you, motherfuckers. I'll never charge that little for no damn reading. I must really love y'all. Because if you go to my site, I still got the normal price. That sale is only for you YouTube motherfuckers. You go book on my site directly, you gonna have the full fee, goddamn. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's up, Jeff? Uncle Jeff. Yeah, I appreciate that, SSM. What's up, Dev? Yeah. Oh yeah, Jeff. I read like a mother. Go look at my episode I just did this past Saturday. I did live readings because for people who ain't up on game, or if you think it's some bullshit, I got two episodes. This past Saturday, my damn Skype line crashed, which ended up being a good thing because now when I do my readings, I just do them through Zoom so I can record and give you the recording. But I got them. Email me info@dwannb.com, or if you go to the website, it's gonna be normal rate. In the Dave Chappelle show Buddies, yeah, I remember. I watched the show Buddies when it first came out. I watched the pilot, and then it never came out. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, Joseph. I think that was your wife that was on the phone when my shit went down. I felt bad. I was like, man, I hope she don't think I hung up on her. Shit. I was just in the middle of reading. Then Skype was like, nah, nigga. YouTube was like, hold on. We have a black man, and not no little moist black man with his bent wrist. No, a straight black man, 10 toes down, reading playing cards, and black people are interested in them old sciences? Hell no. My Skype ain't been in shit since Saturday, y'all. Y'all fucked my Skype up. Y'all messed my Skype up. That's cool. Let me get my money back. I should. Hopefully, I'm when I get online next time it works. But it's like, you know what? I need to do this shit through Zoom. That's why I'm on Patreon. I'm just gonna do everything through Zoom. Send out Zoom link invites. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it live on Patreon pretty soon. For those of you on Patreon, I'm gonna do that. And then if you're on it, whenever I schedule that show, I'm gonna send out Zoom links. Cause on Patreon we gonna chop it up, roundtable style. I'm gonna talk, but I'm gonna want y'all to talk too. What's up, King David? Hmm. I don't know. If you want to trademark the name Bussy, my brother. I don't know. That's something that you like. We all know Tariq was the first person we heard that word from. But I don't know if you want to put your stamp on it like that. Yeah, what's up, Jr.? Sometimes I be watching 5150 on replay, and I see you niggas in the chat room going wow. Like I never watch Craig Facts replays. Like when I'm done with Craig Facts, I'm done. Even my own show. That's probably why this YouTube channel ain't slowing down. On top of being shadow banned, I don't be clipping shit. I've been going back. It's like once I'm done talking, I'm on to the next thing. But one of my own to the next thing is watching. I watch 5150 either every Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Usually Wednesday morning. Soon as I wake up, nigga, I pour my goddamn coffee, and while I'm rolling my weed, I'm watching 5150. And I be seeing some of you niggas acting like motherfucking fools in there. That should be hilarious. I've been watching 5150 since like 2015, 2014. And salute to Freeze Love, man. What's up, Ken Derry? Shouts out to Freeze Love, man. He had called me on Saturday, right when I was going live to do my cardology readings. And like I had hit live, and you know how I hit when I do it from my computer. I go live, and then I play the music and the countdown. And right when I hit live, go live, and I started the countdown, Freeze called me and was like, "Hey D, I'm right around the corner. Let's smoke something." I'm like, God damn! I just went live with these niggas. Like, man, I would have, man, me and Freeze smoke. I ain't smoked with Freeze and since I think we may have smoked one time since this coronavirus hit. These last couple years since the virus, I ain't really seen my man like that. But I ain't really seen him like that since this virus hit. But it would have been good to see Freeze. Yeah, man. You said text message. You said you got a notification saying your cell number is on the dark web. God damn. Man, that dark web shit is. Hey, what do y'all think? And hit number one is, and don't bullshit me. Please don't bullshit me. What would y'all buy it? I'm about to start. I'm really thinking about taking incense and ashtrays and doing some music interviews in the metaverse, doing some metaverse shit to where we do some incense and ashtrays music reviews, and then maybe get some of my artist friends to play some music, kind of talk music, and then have them play a little bit. Would y'all fuck with it? Like if you got even if you don't have an Oculus, you can watch them from your web browser. Like these. Would y'all fuck with it? Hit number one if y'all would fuck with it. Like if you got an Oculus, you can sit there and smoke with us. We're gonna be smoking and interviewing incense and ashtray style. I already got a yes from a couple artists. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I already got a yes from a couple artists on doing some interviews down there. And then I get them to play 2 or 3 songs. Yo, y'all fuck with it? Oh, you don't need social media to fuck with to fuck with this metaverse. Even if you don't have an Oculus, this company I'm not guaranteeing nothing. I'm not even signed anything, but I might start. I'm trying to gauge interest right now because I'm not sure if I even want to do it. I know I want to do it, but it depends on like you guys' interest, you know. But if you don't have an Oculus, you can still see it 3D style through your web browser. Like you can still watch and view and basically have the same similar experience through your computer. Now it won't really work on your phone. Your phone it will look corny. But well, through a web browser on your phone it can be fine. Actually, yeah. On your phone through a browser, yeah, it can work. But if you have an Oculus, nigga, it's just an ashtray music studio's gonna be so goddamn dope, nigga. If you have an Oculus, this shit gonna be an experience. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at that. I'm because this here, it's already some. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. Incense and ashtrays in the metaverse. Not a studio. No, no. I'm going to design. I'm going to sit with the graphic designer and design a studio with him. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him everything I want in my incense and ashtray studio. I'm going to sit with the guy and be like, "This is what I want." And I'm thinking about different things now. Like I'm thinking about making incense and ashtrays. Like give it like an old, like a juke joint feel. Thinking about giving it like a metaverse, but with liquor, smoke everywhere. Yeah, this particular one, they'll let me design my own studio. Anything I want in the studio, they'll let me. They'll design it. They'll make it happen. Shit about to be dope. Oh yeah, man, some dominoes in there. You said jazz club vibes? Yeah, that too. Porn, like that's another one. You like jazz club, like really dark, classy. Give it a classy feel. Some place that real is just real. It got a real vibe to it. You know what I mean? Draw some nice artwork. Have my black music family tree up in there. I had that on the wall. Yeah. Yeah, I might make it cotton club-ish. I might do that. Cotton club style. Or the Savoy ballroom style. Maybe that Savoy ballroom style. Yeah. Or a mixture of them all. Man, it feel good. Let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all better love life and don't live this shit. Live this shit without fear. And I'm not. This is talking to me too, man. The more you move in confidence, the happier shit is, man. I told y'all, nigga. I'll be open with y'all, especially on the late night Q&A. The people who do these late night Q&As, y'all really rocking me heavy. Y'all really do. Y'all support what I got going on. You know what I mean? I got the Incense and Ashtrays music tree up on incenseandashtrays.com/shop. Man, please do me a favor and get yourself a. It's free shipping for all orders over 75. So that's basically if you get two shirts or if you get a shirt and a poster. Look, if you get a framed poster or a matte poster, I'm paying for the shipping. I mean the canvas. If you get that canvas or framed, all framed framed posters and canvas posters. Canvas, that's easily $50 in shipping on the low end, oftentimes for the big one. I'm covering the price of shipping on all that shit. So basically, if you get two things on that shop, you get free shipping. And I got so look it up. Let me see, let me get my tuxedo. But yeah, now this is Quan. Type into incenseandashtrays.com/shop. I got some stuff on the Hotepish shop. I got the canvas print on the Hotepish shop. But the t-shirts are exclusively on incenseandashtrays.com right now. Because Incense and Ashtrays is now a full-on music media blog. Incense and Ashtrays is about to take the space. Incense and Ashtrays is what Vibe wanted to be back in the 90s. That's what incenseandashtrays.com is. It's what Vibe magazine was intending to do in 93. We're gonna do it all the way in 2022. Oh, and I will have kid sizes up on the for the Black Music Family Tree. I will be putting kid sizes up soon. I just there was some back end issues going on with the vendor on the child sizes because I want I want children to have that shirt too. So child sizes will be up soon. I just as soon as these bullshit technical issues work out on the back end. So I'm not gonna do it tonight because I've literally been working. I had my first reading at 9 this morning. I had my last reading at 7 tonight, and then right when I was done with that reading, I went right into fixing instanceandashtrays.com because I've been having technical issues you motherfuckers wouldn't believe with that site. Just uploading these t-shirts. And I just figured it out. And then right when I got done figuring that shit out, I came outside, rolled a joint, and went live with you niggas. Said Blaze should fight Mike Tyson's avatar. That's funny. But yeah, so no, there will not be any child sizes up tonight. 'Cause when I get off this shit with y'all, I'm chilling. But yeah. Oh yeah, when you work for yourself, man, it's like you gotta go for it. Man, y'all wouldn't believe this past year business wise for me. I done put so much money, I done invested so much money in what I do. I mean, when they talk about investments, while everybody else is investing in crypto, saying that, ooh, Bitcoin is going to hit $200,000 this year. And I'm not against people who are doing it because I invest a little bit in all that shit. I do. I invest a little bit in everything. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But motherfuckers was treating that shit like it was about to just goddamn, they was going to ride the wave and they was going to be like, they was going to turn into the next Uncle. Niggas was thinking they about to be the next Uncle Scrooge off Bitcoin. And that's cool, but during that same time, I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm investing in me. Nigga, I'm my own goddamn. I'm gonna be my own Bitcoin. That's what I said. Fuck that shit. I'm big. I'm Dwan Coin. Goddamn it, nigga. I done invested in all kind of classes, all kind of website. I done rebranded my company. Go to breakthroughas.org. Look at how I rebranded that website. And after that rebranding, I still don't have my cardiology shit on there. I invested in myself, like for real, for real. And so, but that came from just, you can't be talking about shit on air saying you do one thing, but you live something else. Well, niggas do that shit all the goddamn time, but I can't. I can't talk one thing online and do something else. I talk about me. Yeah, Bitcoin, there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin and the trust. There's nothing wrong with those investments. My only caution is just those people who turn those new forms of investment into their new God. That's my issue. When people turn these little new investments into their Lord and Savior, like, oh, this thing is the greatest thing ever and it's going to save. Like, no, it's something to invest in if you feel like investing in it. When you put your money in it, think long term, be willing to deal with the ups and downs. But it ain't no get rich. You're not going to get rich quick off this. You're not going to, no, that's not what it is. It's the extra shit that I don't like. Well, he said you was going to gangbang on me for me having a t-shirt on. Yeah, I ordered myself a sample. Like my t-shirts have been ready for I had the designs for the t-shirts and everything ready 2.5 weeks ago at first, but I had to first wait to file my copyright. So I did that first. I filed my copyrights first, and then after I filed my copyrights, then I uploaded it. But the vendor that I was working with, the place that I work with, like the T-shirt, they would not. The shit was just not talk to my website because I was gonna put it on Hotepish first because Incense and Ashtrays wasn't ready to go live yet. So I was gonna put it on Hotepish shirt first, but the shit just wouldn't take, and it still won't take. I tried this morning. I tried to upload t-shirts to Hotepish this morning. They still didn't take. I don't know what the fuck going on, but they took on Incense and Ashtrays. But they didn't take on Incense and Ashtrays until like Sunday. But since Sunday, I've been having a bitch dealing with the shipping. And I don't like bullshitting with y'all. I told y'all $75 free shipping, but the shit wouldn't work. Like I could have put the website live on Sunday, but it would never. When I would, every time I would do a test order, it was charging for shipping, and them shipping rates on like the frame posters and the canvas posters, them shipping rates were anywhere from $40 to $70 depending on what part of the country it was being shipped to. And so I was like, I told motherfuckers, I'm a man of my word. I told y'all $75 free shipping. I'm not gonna send this shit live until the free shipping thing work out. Then I fixed the free shipping thing, and then the tax thing got fucked up. Then I had to fix the tax thing and do all that shit. Then when I fixed the tax thing, it started giving y'all flat rate shipping. I'm like, no, I don't want flat rate shipping. I want free shipping. And so I've been doing all that in between having like my cardiology this week, man. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. I've been having like 7 or 8 readings a day. I'm like, I'll do like 2 or 3 readings, then go do Craig Facts, and then come home, work on a website, and then like the next day I got been busy as shit. But right when I got done with my last reading today, I went on and I finally fixed that shit. And somebody ordered like within 5 minutes of me fixing it. And then so when they ordered the t-shirt, that pumped me up. So I was like, fuck this shit. So then I went into MailChimp and I designed an email to blast off to y'all. And so like told y'all, I had my first reading at 9 this morning. I went and designed that email. The minute I figured the tax thing out, the minute I figured out the free shipping, nigga, I went to MailChimp. I designed the email. I went to Canva. I designed a flyer. I know that flyer looks bullshit on Instagram, but god damn it, I designed that after working 12 hours today. Excuse me. But I was excited to get my shit out because I finally got it to work. And then the minute I got that shit out, and I walked in, kicked in my wife. She was watching some shit I do not want to watch. So I said, fuck this shit. So she watching this bullshit. I'm going to roll this joint, and I'm going to talk to you niggas. Yeah. This nigga said, why didn't the car tell me Marcel was going to lose? I didn't ask. I don't know why you were pissed. It was Marcel Dixon's first time running. Look, let me tell y'all something about politics and change. A push and a revolution, you're not, look at when high tide is coming at the beach. Let's go to the beach. You can learn a lot through nature. As high tide comes in, the first wave as high tide comes in is not going to be as high as the last wave of high tide before high tide starts to recede. We're starting to come into it, like as Black Americans politically, and we're starting to grow up as Americans. We've been in this teen-like state since slavery. That's what slavery did. Slavery kept us in a childlike state. Jim Crow kept us in a childlike state. The baby boomers chose to act like motherfucking children for government jobs. You see how it goes? So us, generation, for the people who are younger generation X and millennials and Gen Z, you don't, we don't, like half, Gen X is schizophrenic. Half of Gen X is on some bullshit. Them motherfuckers are just like the baby boomers, half them niggas. But then the later Gen X is like, nah, they're a little more militant. Millennials, I'm an old school millennial. Millennials, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. And Gen Z gives less of a fuck than we do. They really don't give a fuck. So it's changing. High tide is on its way. But Marcel Dixon running was the first wave in a season of high tide. The first wave, the first few waves of high tide, they don't go too far, but they keep coming and they develop a momentum. And as high tide continues to come closer and closer and closer, the waves get bigger. They come closer on shore, and they change the texture and they change the topography of the sand line. Everything we see in life we can compare to nature. Nature tells us everything. That's why they have you niggas inside all the goddamn time, watching TV. You see where I am right now? I'm out the fuck side, nigga. You can watch tree, you can see all this shit is life. And you can learn from this shit. Same thing with the first leaves in spring. Fall comes. Black people, we're in spring right now. We are in the spring. We coming out of the winter of our civilization, and we're going into spring. But when spring comes, them first leaves are some bullshit. Get these little ass leaves out of here, little ass leprechaun leaves. Look at them trees when them leaves start budding. It ain't shit. But as it goes and grows, it gets to a point to where now everyone sees the massive tree that it is. Marcel running, you should have, like, I don't want to say expect him to lose. I didn't think he would win. I still supported him. I donated money to his campaign, knowing it probably wasn't going to happen because it's the first wave during the high tide. Just the first wave. Niggas is going to lose a lot in 2024 too. Some may get through, but most are going to lose in 2024. 2026, now, okay, now a quarter may win, a third may win in 2026. 2028, now half are winning. In these places where we got majority black cities, Chicago, Atlanta, Jacksonville, now in 2028, it's like damn near half of the black people in are reparationists, and they replaced immigrants. Where are we at in 2032? Where are we at in 2040? That's how you gotta look at it. Even the white supremacists has a 20-year plan. White supremacists don't come in and change shit right away. They have 30-year plans. This is how it's gonna look in 30 years. That's all we have to think. How is it gonna look in 30 years? And what do we do right now in this moment to guarantee that outcome? Not guess, guarantee. What do we do today, now, 2022, to guarantee the outcome for our children and grandchildren by the year 2052? What do we do? Well, the way I see it, what we did with Marcel Dixon, that's it. Now we grow it. Because it's a loss now. Hell, even President Obama, bitch ass, got trumped by Bobby Rush in Chicago the first time he ran. Even Obama punk ass didn't get through, and he ended up being one of the greatest politicians in American history. And when I say great, I don't mean in the context of what he did for black people. I mean overall in the context of politicians and what they were able to accomplish. When you look at it objectively, when you look at his Affordable Care Act, that's going to go up down historically, and historians look back at history 100 years from now. His Affordable Care Act is going to go back. It's going to be just under the New Deal. The New Deal is going to be still going to be the number one thing that happened in American history 100 years from now. Right behind that is going to be the busting of the unions by Wilson. It's going to be the Affordable Care Act. It's going to be the civil rights legislation of the '60s. That's all gonna in 100 years historically. Those are all going to be looked upon as some of the greatest acts in American history. So when I look at it just as someone who likes history, objectively, not removing myself from what Obama did for black people, talking about how America is going to be looked at historically by, people and just purely on the acts and things the president got accomplished, that Affordable Care Act is going to be on there. And unfortunately, motherfucking fortunately, the Gay Marriage Act is going to be included up there too. That's, yeah, we ain't got to like it. I don't like it. The shit's fucking weird. But historians are going to look at that on that level. So Obama, when looked at in 50 years historically what he did, he's going to have a high mark. Yeah, we just keep going. Yeah. You said the Secret Service owns VPN? I did not know that. That's that doesn't surprise me. But at the end of the day, I've never been one to think that they can't see it in anything anyway. I remember when I first started getting on the internet and motherfucking Yahoo Chat in 1997. I knew that they was spying on us then, and I was only what 16. I knew they was spying. I was very well aware that they was spying on us in Yahoo Chat with my GoPlay web address and my email address drummerman81 at yahoo.com. That was like my first email address. I know that shit been expired, but that was my first email address, drummerman81 at yahoo.com. I knew they was on that shit then. Yeah. But Marcel put a Marcel put an energy out there, and energy doesn't die. You know, he put a notion out there because the people because we gotta understand the black one sphere is very small relative to all of Black America. It's extremely small, but it's effective because it's a sphere that puts their money where their mouth is. So when you got a bunch of people with that kind of a mindset, you don't need everybody. You just need enough of them because y'all gonna have children and y'all have influence because other people's kids who look at y'all and look at us and they know their parents ain't shit, but they look at you differently because you willing to say what the fuck need to be said. Yeah, I miss them old chat rooms. My chat room name in Yahoo, I had a bunch of chat room names. One of my chat room name was Shut your ass up before I clown you. Another one of my chat room names was my first chat room name was D's Nuts. But that shit was back in the '90s when niggas was saying that shit. That was one of my. I was an asshole. I was a major asshole in Yahoo chat. That's why I kind of wish 5150 and shit like that was around then. Like I don't like. I'm different now. I'm in my 40s now. I don't roast nearly like I used to. In my 20s, I didn't stop. When I was in my teens and my 20s, when it came to jokes, I go all day and night. I wouldn't stop joking around. I did not stop. And I would clown my friends, then get on from clowning my friends, and then go in Yahoo chat and be in Yahoo chat after school for like 5 hours just clowning. We used to sit in African American teens room one. That was our room. Yahoo chat, African American teens room one. And if somebody came in there with a name we didn't recognize, we just clown their asses what we think they look like. Because this back in the day when nobody had a picture up online. Nobody had a picture. Let's say mama had a scanner at work, but didn't no niggas have no $500 for no goddamn scanner. Niggas barely had enough money for that fucking computer, 56K modem. So we just sit up in African American teens room one, and anybody that came up in that teen room, we clown the shit out of them, and they be mad. But man, Marcel, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll run again, and he may lose again, but he'll triple because the Democrats did some dirty shit. You know, I was looking at what people was posting on Twitter. I saw somebody took a picture of the ballot, and it said Greg Dixon. I'm like, who the fuck is Greg Dixon? Then I put two and two together. I was like, oh yeah, him. They're saying some parts of the county didn't even have his name on the ballot. And Black Planet was the shit. That's where I first came up. That's why I first came up with Dwan B because DwannBrown would always get taken. Somebody always had Brown, or they had D Brown. D Brown was always what I wanted to do first. But since D Brown was always taken, I think my Black Planet was something Dwan B or something like that. And I think same with MySpace. Mm. Man, I don't know. I ignore that trans dude. What are you talking about? Nah, yeah, that dude be running his mouth, but that dude's insignificant. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, y'all. Yeah. Get the t-shirts and get the posters at Hotepish. No. InSincinnatiStrays.com/shop. All right. And get your readings. I got like 4 slots the rest of the week. Half off readings. Info at DwannB.com. All right, y'all.